Good morning, everyone. This is Karpusamy Solemuthu, Department of Civil Engineering, Assignments of Science and Technology. Today, topic deals with graphs in data structures. Graph is one of the important uh, data structure used in computer science, which is used to represent the relationship and connection between set of objects. Graphs consist of nodes, which is nothing but the vertices, and edges, which is used to connect these nodes. If you look at the diagram here, and node 1, node 3 is nothing but the vertices, and here this the line connection between this node and 1 and 3 is the edges, and it has various characteristics, various types, and it is used for various applications. Considering that, let us start with types characteristics. The characteristics are based on the features and based on the direction, based on the weights, based on the cycles. We can have the direction of this. We can have the characteristics. For example, based on the future, as I mentioned, like nodes, it is nothing but the vertices, and edges, it is a connection, the line which is used to connect the vertices, that is the edges, and size, the number of vertices in the graph, and order, number of edges in the graphs. This is called how the graphs are represented by means of characteristics. In the case of types, we can classify the graphs with reference to their directions, their weights, and their number of cycles. And so these are some of the examples for the types of graphs. If you look at the classification based on their directions, there is a directed graph and undirected graph. In the case of directed graphs, it carries the direction, the edges having the directions. Whereas in the case of undirected graph, there is no direction for that. And you can also classify based on their weights, weighted graph, unweighted graph. And in the case of weighted graph, it carries the edges carries the weights. That means maybe it's a distance or cost. The weight may be distance or cost. And unweighted graph doesn't have any weights for that, and it carries equal weights. And so these are some basic example of graphs or types, and you can classify based on the cycle also. Like cycle graph, which contains at least one cycle, and uncycled graphs nothing but it doesn't have any cycle. For example, directed acyclic graph, that is used for scheduling purpose, or compiler scheduling for that. Directed acyclic graph is used. This is kind of types of graphs as far as graphs concerned. And so we classify them based on the direction, based on the weight, based on the cycles. And these are some of the example for the graphs classifications or types. And now we are moving into the application side, navigation system or navigation map. So it is used for identifying the shortest route or shortest path. If you take more specifically, the Dijkstra algorithm is the best example for identifying the shortest path, or A-star algorithm also, that is best used for identifying the shortest path between two locations. Since it involves vertices, the algorithm is used to identify the best possible routes for that. And GPS, which is used to give the position, and that is also part of identifying the shortest route. That provides a dynamic coordinate, which is used to this graph algorithm used to give the better location or identify the shortest location with reference to the coordinate which we are receiving it. And social networks, it is used to identify the influences or social networking. For that it is used, so graphs are used more specifically. And it is more important as far as social routing or network routing. If you take computer network, this network routing is one of the best applications from these graph functions. And there are various algorithms are used in this graph data structure. For instance, as we discussed, like register algorithm, which is used to identify the shortest path. The same way, you know, the depth first search and breadth first search. These are some of the examples for like a graph based algorithm. And in addition to that, what we discussed, the Dijkstra also, the algorithm belongs to this so-called graphs and data structures. So, in the simplest manner, it is used in navigation, it is used in social network routing, network routing, and shortest path. These are some of the prominent example as far as this graphs concerned. Since it is identifying the relation between the objects or set of objects, and it is used more socially, like social networking, identifying the relations. For example, Twitter relationship is the best example how the graphs are used, what levels we identify attach with others. And this all are part of graphs from data structures.